You achieve something, you accomplish a goal, but instead of feeling proud, you immediately think, it's not enough. I should have done better. Everyone else is doing more. That voice in your head, the one that constantly criticizes, demands, pushes, it never stops. What if I told you that voice isn't helping you succeed? It's destroying you. And in the next 8 minutes, I'll show you exactly how to silence it. Stay with me, because what you'll learn will change everything. Let's be brutally honest. You're never satisfied with yourself. No matter what you achieve, no matter how hard you work, it's never enough. You look at your accomplishments and immediately see the flaws. You compare yourself to others and always come up short. Your inner voice is relentless. You're lazy. You're not smart enough. You're falling behind. You should be doing more, achieving more, being more. This constant self-pressure has become your normal state. You wake up anxious about everything you haven't done yet. You go to sleep feeling guilty about everything you didn't accomplish. Even your successes feel hollow because you can't stop focusing on what's missing, what could have been better, what you should have done differently. Millions of people live like this. They're high achievers who feel like failures. They're successful but miserable. They push themselves relentlessly, believing that if they just work harder, criticize themselves more, demand more from themselves, then finally they'll feel good enough. But it never happens. The goalpost keeps moving. The inner critic gets louder. The pressure becomes unbearable. You tell yourself this is what drives you. This is what makes you successful. But deep down, you know the truth. You're exhausted. You're burned out. And you have no idea how to stop the voice that's eating you alive from the inside. Here's what changes everything. That voice criticizing you isn't you. It's your inner parent. It's the internalized voice of every authority figure who ever had expectations of you. Your parents, your teachers, society. And that voice has one primary function: to keep you safe by making you acceptable, successful, and worthy in the eyes of others. But here's the problem. That inner parent doesn't know when to stop. It still treats you like a child who needs constant correction. It applies standards from your past to your present. It demands perfection because it genuinely believes that's what will keep you safe, loved, and valued. But all it's actually doing is destroying your peace. The radical insight is this: satisfaction with yourself doesn't come from meeting higher standards. It comes from lowering your demands, not lowering your actual standards for your work or life, but lowering the impossible, punishing requirements your inner parent places on your worth as a human being. You need to engage in a dialogue with that inner parent. You need to recognize it as a separate voice, not your true self. Your true self, your authentic core, doesn't need constant criticism to grow. It needs compassion. It needs realistic expectations. It needs permission to be imperfect and still valuable. When you understand your actual needs, not the projected needs of that inner parent, but your needs, you realize something profound. You need rest more than perfection. You need self-acceptance more than achievement. You need to feel inherently worthy, not conditionally worthy, based on what you accomplish. I completely reconsidered my relationship with myself. I stopped treating my inner critic as the voice of truth and started recognizing it as the voice of fear. I examined where these impossible standards came from, and I realized they weren't mine. They were inherited. They were absorbed. They were never questioned. I changed my internal dialogue entirely. When the critical voice appeared, I started responding to it like I would to an anxious parent. Thank you for trying to protect me, but I'm safe. I'm enough as I am. I don't need to be perfect to be valuable. At first, this felt absurd, but slowly, it started working. I stopped measuring my worth by my productivity. I started celebrating small wins instead of only acknowledging major achievements. I gave myself permission to rest without guilt. I practiced self-compassion, actually speaking to myself the way I would speak to someone I love. My perception transformed completely. I realized that my harshest critic wasn't my motivator. It was my obstacle. The more I criticized myself, the less energy I had for actual growth. I made a decisive choice. I would replace self-pressure with self-support. I would become my own ally, not my own enemy. I worked through my limiting beliefs. I identified my core values, what actually matters to me, not what I've been told should matter. I established personal boundaries, including boundaries with my own inner parent. I learned to say, no, that expectation is unreasonable. I will not accept it. Now I can live without constant anxiety. Everything has changed. I still achieve goals. I still work hard. I still have ambition. But it comes from a different place now, from self-respect, not self-punishment, from genuine desire, not desperate fear of not being enough. All my relationships improved. When I stopped being harsh with myself, I stopped being unconsciously harsh with others. I became more empathetic, more present, more connected. I'm free from the exhausting cycle of achievement and disappointment. I'm free from the belief that I need to earn my own approval. I'm deeply grateful. Grateful that I was burned out enough to finally question the voice I had always obeyed without thinking. That burnout saved my life. I'm free from the tyranny of perfectionism. I've become stronger, not because I push harder, but because I've learned to support myself. I've developed the most essential skill, self-compassion, the ability to treat myself with the same kindness I would offer a friend, the ability to see my humanity, my limitations, and my imperfections, and still believe I'm worthy. Here's your immediate actionable advice. Starting today, notice when your inner critic speaks. Don't fight it. Don't suppress it. Just notice it. Then respond out loud or in writing. Thank you for trying to protect me, but that standard is unreasonable. I'm doing my best, and that's enough. Do this every single time the critical voice appears. This simple practice, this conscious dialogue, is where transformation begins. Write down one thing. I am enough exactly as I am right now. Read it every morning. Let it sink in. Because it's the truth your inner parent never learned to tell you. You've spent your entire life trying to earn your own approval. It's time to just give it to yourself. You are enough. You always have been. Now go live like you believe it.